Hey friends, Nick speaks. Today I'm answering the question about tips to safe travel to India, and since I have some experience, I'm willing to share it. But before I start, let me tell you an important thing. Stand with Kerala, says the chief minister of this state, and we all know that today Kerala is in the midst of unprecedented flood havoc, and the calamity has caused immeasurable misery and devastation. Many lives were lost, and hundreds of homes were totally destroyed, and many more were damaged. For the first time in history, 27 dams in the state of Kerala had to be opened. Never before had the state witnessed a calamity of this scale. In the fight against the flood, the people braved the odds. So these are the words I'm reading from the official site of government of Kerala, and there is a huge button donate. So if you find it possible, so please donate and help people in Kerala. But let me continue to all people who are watching me from India. I'm not there right now. I'm in Florida. Hello. I'm going to stay here for a month. And to my Belarusian students and friends, I want to say that I'm coming back to Belarus in early October. Yeah, so I'm going to stay here for a while. Now about safe travel to India. So the first thing is that you have to understand what type of travel you choose, and whether it is a packaged holiday or it is travel with your friends. Then it's kind of different, because when you take a packaged holiday, the tour operator is responsible for managing everything, organizing, and you have to just check the reliability of this travel agent. But when you are traveling on your own, you are solely responsible for everything, and of course you have to do your homework. You have to check all the routes and how you're going to commute, whether you speak English, and whether you are an open-minded, outgoing person who is willing to communicate with people, no matter what their ethnic background and status is. So you have to be outgoing and quick on the uptake, because the pronunciation of many people is going to be different from what you have. I want to give an example of one person from Belarus who's traveled to India, and then she was contacting the embassy of Belarus there for quite some time, and demanding that she should be saved from there. Saved meaning that she was experiencing difficulty in the state of Assam with her employer. It was, I think, a paid internship or something, and I think for such a person, the tip is very easy. You have to do your homework. You have to prepare for your trip well. Kushal, thank you very much. Thank you. Glad to see you, by the way. Yeah. Thank you for commenting. Yeah. And thank you for your kind wishes. Yeah, so I was given an example of one person from Belarus who came to the state of Assam, and she was not satisfied with the amenities, with the infrastructure and all, and as a result, she became very negative. And I want to say that, like seriously, this could have been avoided because. Like going to Assam probably is not the most developed state, and you have to do a bit of fact checking whether the company you're going to exist in like in B2B catalogs. So what is the like Facebook page of your company that that is inviting you, etc. And of course there are like good and bad people everywhere, but a bit of preparation, of course, will do. The other way of like traveling today, which is getting more popular, is traveling with your friends. When from 2 to 6 people get together and they decide like, okay, we'll travel to this city or to that city. A good idea will be to not just to book all your accommodations in advance, but also book all your local tickets in advance, and not save on local transportation. So you can save on something else. And of course, it's better to pay a bit more, because the transportation rates are really affordable in India. You can fly from one part to the other part of the country for just 50-60 bucks, which is, I understand it's a bit more than, for example, in Europe, but still it's quite affordable. And you want good transportation, because if it is a sleeper bus, I can easily bear it for a night, or I can even like travel easily for 20 odd hours. But come on, I'm a male. I have good stamina. Like I've served in the army, so I have just good training. I can easily bear it. But if it is a female traveler, if she's traveling alone, or she has some like potential problems with health, well, in this case I suggest that you only take either a flight or a very good coach. Next, the important consideration is weather conditions. For example, the things that are now happening in Kerala. Well, I think even local people wouldn't have expected them to happen. And you see, there are 10,000 kilometers of road damaged. Can you imagine that? Well, I can hardly imagine that, and all the scale of this damage is beyond imagination. So don't forget that India looks very small on the map if you compare it with Russia, for example. But when you actually land there, you can start realizing that this is a huge country with so many different like peculiarities. There are so many things to consider. And which season you are choosing for a travel is immensely important. You see, it's not like in Europe. For example, in Belarus, we have 3 types of seasons. It is when it is a bit chilly, but kind of wet, and some rain is there, but you normally dress up in a raincoat, something like that. And then for quite some time we have summer, which is quite pleasant. But in India it's different. These guys have 3 seasons, all right? So the first one is winter, and the second one is summer, and then it's a monsoon season. meaning that there are all precipitation occur during this period of time. So all the rainfall during the year, so it come out of the sky during like 1 or 2 months. Normally it is in summer. So while traveling to either India or other part of Asia, especially Southeast Asia, maybe Vietnam or maybe Indonesia or whatever, so please check precipitation, because you don't want your hotel to be flooded with water. And I think if you watch the news, you might have found that in Kerala, like some people were making selfies, like selfie videos in their houses, almost completely underwater. So which is I think not a pleasant situation. So when you travel there, you don't want that to happen. What is the best season? Well, the number one destination for Russian speakers and for many English speakers, of course, is Goa. It's a tourist destination. It's like this place is just covered with lots of resorts, chain hotels like Marriott and Four Seasons, and there are so many hotels you can barely imagine. So there, the tourist season lasts from probably November to May, yeah, something like that. So at least precipitation is not there, so you are quite safe in terms of water. It's not overflowing. So guys who are watching me, what is the best season to travel to India? Tell me. However, the positive things about monsoon are that all the greenery is thriving during the monsoon season. It is easier to breathe. Ranjit is writing. Thank you very much, Ranjit. Thank you for your wishes, and nice to see you. Yeah, so I was saying about greenery, which becomes in bloom, all this jungle-like trees and all. And of course, it is easier to breathe, but at the same time, the monsoon season is the most bacteria prone, because a lot of food poisonings are happening at this time, and it is nowhere safe to eat, because if you know that potentially there might be a problem with your stomach, with digestion, so it's going to happen. For example, when I first came for my internship at Alesko Business School, during the first week, most of my international colleagues felt experienced difficulty with Indian food, not because it was bad, but because it was bought from different places. Well, some places were of higher quality, while the others used not so good quality water. And water is, I think, the number one issue in India, and for that reason, it is better to buy water in bottles, if it is okay with you. But I think, yeah, you can buy this water instead of drinking from everywhere, and it is better to not to save, not to go penny pinching when you buy food, but instead to go to a more quality hotel, just visually assess the quality. Well, yeah, it should be a good quality restaurant, but it of course depends on your digestion system. So I was lucky, and only I got food poisoned after a year or so, so that I got adapted to that climate. But my international colleagues, even a Chinese colleague, was admitted to the hospital with food poisoning. It wasn't a very bad issue, but of course you want to avoid health issues, and especially if you travel with your family when children are there. Of course, it's like you have to invest more into your travel. You don't want to buy cheap things in the street. So street food is not the best choice for you, especially if your normal diet is European or some national ethnic cuisine. You're going to face trouble with that. Okay. So what are the other suggestions? Do not travel alone if you are not a male traveler. For me, it was absolutely easy because everyone was so friendly. But I'm a male. I have no hesitation asking, and my English is all right. So I faced no misunderstanding. So everybody in the street was eager to help me, so they helped me to find the way, and they were immensely like very, very friendly. Although we know very well that India is a part of the oriental part of the continent, and that's why like the situation with women is different from what is in Europe. It is not common for women to hang out alone, especially in the evening. It's just not safe. So either you travel with your boyfriend or a husband, or then it's best to have like several people around, several people who you can trust, especially if it is local people who speak local languages, who are powerful. So that's my suggestion. And this normally happen with female travelers in India. I know many cases when girls prefer not to travel alone because they're concerned of their own safety. However, there are some places like, for example, Goa and several districts of New Delhi and Bangalore, like the most advanced districts that are posh and that are very costly. So there you are absolutely safe. But again, it's not all around, because even when you commute from one city to the other by car or by train, you have to choose your means of transportation. You have to choose like what type of quality is there. Veronica is writing. Thank you, Veronica, for watching. Thank you for asking this question. Thank you for your wishes, of course. So what can I say? I'm happy you guys are watching me. Yeah. I hope I covered some of the points on travel to India, and of course it's difficult for me to cover each and every point, but feel free to ask. Because my travel was different from a general tourist, tourist type. Because I've been doing a contract. I've been working there most of the time. Of course, I had like several extended holidays when I went to Jaipur, which is Rajasthan, and then I went to Delhi, I went to Mumbai, the biggest cities, and well, no, I think for younger people it is a good idea to hang out in the city, because it may be very boring to I don't know, to stay at a hotel, even when it is, if it is like completely secure, but there is nothing happening there. Yeah, so of course, bigger cities are best destinations for many. However, there are feature parks. For example, I've been working in central India with the state of Madhya Pradesh, that's the name. And the city of Indore, it's the largest city of the state in the very center of India. And there, nearby, there is a feature park, kind of like a ethnic or national type of park where you can go hang out. So there are all types of dishes served, and you can take a camel ride, or you can go swim in the pool, or there are dance rooms that have showers, so people go dance there, and at that time they are being poured down with water. So it was kind of a new thing for me, something entirely crazy. And if you go down my Facebook photos, you're going to find a lot of them from Indore, Nakrali Dali, which is the place I'm talking about. And there are a lot of places like this. There are all types of places, and of course, it's you have to decide on your priority. Whether it is Kadrana, so the so-called golden circle of Indian sightseeing spots is Kadrana, and then Delhi and Rajasthan. So the other are considered minor, because for package tourists, for 7 to 14 day travel, it's kind of like it's impossible to see all of them. So to summarize my protracted speech, I should say, 1, remember that the type of travel defines what you do, how you behave. Second, remember of the basic safety. 3, remember of the seasons and the specific place you go there. What else? Food safety, and of course, remember that it's simply not safe to travel if you alone if you are a female. Well, I believe that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your kind wishes. Cheerio.